And but I would like to welcome everyone to the combined Easton Housing Authority Annual Plan Public Hearing and meeting of the Board of Commissioners, which is hereby called to order at 5:12 p.m. And this meeting is being held remotely via GoToMeeting, like I said, and we apologize again for the delay because there was some issues with the GoToMeeting process, which did seem to have changed to me as well as, and then Commissioner Dennis Sheedy had asked if there was an issue relative to this, the meeting is a combined meeting and part of it is a public hearing. So I guess the first thing I want to do is ask the board if how they feel about Commissioner Dennis Sheedy's question.
I don't know what website Commissioner Sheedy was speaking about that he went to.
Easton's.
Town of Easton.
The town of Easton?
You can pull up the agenda and the link is there. If you click on the link, it didn't bring you into the meeting. But if you clicked on the link, and then maybe if you use that access code, but it looks like, if you pull up the agenda on the website and you click on that link, you would think that would take you straight through to the meeting. Looks like that link takes you to potentially GoToMeeting, and then you have to manually put in the access code.
Well, that would be fine if you could do that. Again, I was not able to do that the way I did it, but what's it under boards and committees?
Yeah, it's under, if you just go to agendas.
No, just go to the calendar and click on today's date on the Easton website.
Yeah.
And then it'll show you Easton Housing Authority, and then the agenda. If you click on the agenda.
Yep.
And then click on that link.
And the only option I have is, cancel, open, go to opener, and it says you can only, this one, it won't allow me to do it. It says I can only have one session at a time. So that didn't work.
So if you click on the link, you get taken to GoToMeeting, and then you have to have that access code. So if you've clicked into that link, you've lost that access code. So that link needs to have the same ending numbers as the access code.
That was what I thought. I agree with you, Chrisanne.
I don't know why they don't agree, because they should.
Well, over the
last
years,
numbers on the HTTP should agree with the access code. Because when I set up GoToMeetings, the whole thing coordinates.
Okay. So next time I'll make sure that those numbers in the end just aren't there, because I had to access the meeting with my daughter's computer because my laptop is rebooting and will not open. So I just went to GoToMeeting, joined a GoToMeeting and hit the access code and signed in. And I entered manually the access code and it let me in.
What I get.
Yeah, but if you go to that link on the website, on the town's website.
I've never done that. Yeah, I didn't even know.
If you hit the blue link for HTTPS, it's not going to bring you into the meeting. You've got to then know that red access code underneath it and type it in manually.
Okay.
But if you've joined on that blue link, you've lost that access code. You no longer see that to type it in unless you write it down. Unless you put A and B together and think that you should have that other code at hand.
Well, the one for the public hearing that was advertised in the paper is the actual invitation, and it does not have that other information up there. It's the actual invite that I send to the board when I post the meeting, when I send the link to the invites to your emails. That's what was posted in the paper for the public hearing.
Very good. Okay.
But that doesn't solve the open meeting law.
But on the agenda that I post, it has the access code and the phone number to access the meeting. ECAT got in okay. I don't
What
know
I'm saying is I'm a board member and I couldn't get in off the information I had. It wouldn't allow me.
Mhm.
So I don't know how the public could possibly do it. Because once I click on that link and it says join the meeting, it says unable to join. The meeting ID is invalid. But it never gives you an option to put that ID in.
And like I said, you'd have to know the ID.
Well, it says to go back and try again.
You have
Well,
to
the-
have, you have to have recorded the access code on pen and paper
Right.
and then
And-
type it in manually.
And I wonder if, because it seems to me earlier today I tried, because I like to test, because I've found that this access code has changed over the months of our meetings that we've been
Mhm.
having them remotely. And
Mhm.
what I did earlier today, before I bothered you, Kathy, was I tried changing the blue 957767901 that's on the agenda to the red access code that you told me goes with the phone number.
Mhm.
And even then I had difficulty getting in. But I can't remember. I'm sorry, I can't remember. I think it was because you hadn't started the meeting yet. Because that was earlier today.
Yeah, if you haven't engaged the meeting, then you might not have been able to get in. I mean, if she hasn't opened the meeting up, then you might not have been able to get in.
Well, I mean, if you want to table the actual meeting and just address the public hearing information, we could do that. I don't know how the board feels about that. The public hearing was advertised appropriately 45 days in advance for the admin plan. I don't know how you'd like to proceed.
So the public hearing was actually advertised,
It
correct?
has to be, yes, correct.
And
In
that was advertised where?
the Patriot Ledger, I have the advertisement back at the office. It has to be advertised 45 days in advance and posted on the website, which it was on our website for people to view.
Okay, so, and somebody did get in via that means. Okay,
Is this something we need to vote on?
you put a 45-day public hearing notice out
No.
there. Yeah, we have to vote on this.
You have to vote on the admin plan for the Section 8.
We can't vote on it if we're not in public, in an open meeting.
So that's the question. Are we in an open meeting? Have we violated the open meeting law? I can't answer that. I don't like, again, the technical part of it, whether we posted it the right way. Again, I couldn't get in using my agenda information. So I don't know if we've, I probably could have got in if I kept trying, but I don't know what the law states on this. I do know that, I don't know, Jamie, you might be able to answer this. We have the 45 days who have advertised that it's today. The public can make comment on it, which is pretty benign stuff, to be quite honest with you. But if we don't do it today, what does that mean that we have to do with this posting period?
Well, you have, you've advertised, you've done the 45-day public review period, so that doesn't have to get redone. But if you were going to reschedule the public hearing, you'd have to put another advertisement in the Patriot Ledger and reschedule it. The link that we all use to log in is what was advertised in the ad. I have the advertisement in front of me. It was, the link in the ad referred them to a document that's on your website under documents in Section 8, the Section 8 section at the bottom. And when you click on that, it's the actual admin plan draft document. And on page 2, it has the exact link that I used to get on here. So you could still probably have the public hearing and solicit public comment on the admin plan. I don't think there's, I mean, I just looked at the agenda that's on your town's website, and that really looks like it's more of a board meeting agenda. So I think you could still have the public hearing regardless.
Okay, I agree with that. If it was in the advertisement, it's you came in through the link that was in on the website for the admin plan.
What is the time or the constraints in terms of submission of this plan? Is it, I'm assuming there's a time restriction to it?
Nope. No, we just did it because it was time. I mean, it was something that needed to be updated, especially in light of the pandemic, what the housing authority has learned during that period of time. Section 8 rules and regulations have changed since the last time the admin plan went through a complete overhaul. So it was time.
And the last time we did do it was when?
Last time, well, there have been small updates to the admin plan as we've gone along over the last probably 6 years or so. But nothing, it's been nothing major. I think the last major overhaul may have been 2012 or 2013. I'm not sure, I wasn't around at the time.
All right, but HUD doesn't have any specific, it has to be done by such and such a date at this moment in time.
No,
If I may, Joe from ECAT just messaged me and he said he's streaming this meeting live, if that helps. The board's comfortability with continuing on. He says he's streaming it live now.
If I may make a comment, this topic of discussion, which is the public hearing for the fiscal year 2022 proposed
2023.
2023 Section 8 administrative plan. And the packet that you sent us, Kathy, with the because I did go through, that's that 500-page document, 486 pages. And I went through a third of it. And I just rescanned it before the meeting. And actually on page 6 of 16, it talks about remote meetings. So that is one of the revisions or updates, for lack of a better word, that is being considered. I don't mean to digress from the point, which is it okay to continue with the public hearing? And I guess that I would want to, I guess I should, as I've been saying, poll the board first. Right, Tom? That's our question. Is it okay to continue with the public hearing?
Yeah, usually you'd have a parliamentarian person answering this. I guess the question I have, so I see Joe from ECAT got on after this. Jamie got on, ECAT got on. Jamie said she came in through the posting on the website regarding the public hearing. I'd like to, I mean, does the law say that every single door has to be unlocked, or can you have so many that are, open that allow people to come in? And, one door is broken now. That's what I'm seeing. It might be broken. It might be more difficult to get through. So that's the question. So Joe, if you feel comfortable, could you tell us how you access this meeting?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I tried the link initially, didn't work, so I then tried the code that was underneath, got in.
Which link? Where?
Off of the Easton Town website, I went through the agenda there, then there was a hyperlink, wasn't able to get that to work, but then underneath there was the access code. I put that into the GoToMeeting app and worked perfect.
All right,
Okay.
so does a public hearing require, is there anywhere in the statement that says it's in conjunction with a posted public meeting? No, it doesn't generally. It's two separate things.
Well,
Correct?
I think what he just told us is that there are multiple ways to come in, and one of them didn't work. One of them does if you put in the access code.
But I'm going to also say that Joe's probably kind of tech savvy.
I would agree.
More so than me.
I'd also like to just point out, anybody can access this meeting via telephone as well. You can access that. You don't have to use a computer. You can use it via telephone and hit an access code and hear the meeting and participate in the meeting.
True. That is true.
Okay,
Is,
Did you-
if I could ask, is that phone number available on the Easton website, on the town of Easton site?
877-309-2073. Yeah, because it's the same agenda you pull up on the Easton site. It's this agenda. It's the same one that's in front of you.
that we got in our packets.
Correct.
Okay. So that's visible to the public then?
Yep.
I have to say, after the discussion, you can poll and we'll see, but I feel comfortable.
Okay, so the question that I'm posing to the board is, are you comfortable with moving forward with the public hearing for the Easton Housing Authority's annual plan, the federal Section 8 administrate admin plan for fiscal year 2023? And I'm going to do a poll right now. Don Burrows
Yes.
and Tebow,
Yes, due to people having access through the telephone number, I do, yes.
Chris Ann Sheedy,
Did you say just the public hearing or the meeting in general?
I'm going with just the public hearing first.
Okay, yeah, I'm okay with that.
Sorry. So your answer is yes?
Yes.
Okay, and Dennis Sheedy?
No.
Okay. And Chair, myself, I say yes. So we have a 4 yes and 1 no on this so we will move forward with this public hearing. And then we will poll again for the regular meeting. So at this point, the routine is to turn the meeting over to the executive director, and she can just give us a briefing on the proposed federal Section 8 admin plan.
Thank you. Sorry for all the confusion. The public hearing for the Section 8 2023 admin plan was posted 45 days in advance of this meeting. It is a very lengthy document. I had Jamie Berryman from Seabrook Solutions help consult on redrafting and updating this Section 8 plan. And we're here to hear any public comments or questions that either the public or the board has on this. And I have Jamie here because she's very knowledgeable and would be able to answer the questions more thoroughly than I with some of the items that have changed or been updated.
I did not review the 498-page plan. I did review the 16-page summary. I didn't see anything of significant difference other than using technology when the opportunity or the need arises. Ms. Berryman, is there anything that you see in there that is a change of policy that from what we had in the past, a change in direction?
No, change in direction, definitely not. As you know, Commissioner Chris Ann Sheedy mentioned earlier, I don't think this plan's been updated in its entirety, and it's probably been 8 or so years. And the Easton Housing Authority has made some very small changes here and there during that period of time. But during that period of time, there's been some areas of the HUD regulation as well as some federal and state statutes that have changed. And as a result, there were some areas where the Housing Authority either needed to update language to be in line with those updated regulations and state statutes, or there's areas where the Housing Authority had to make a decision as to which way they want to lean on a HUD option. So those are the areas that got updated. And in addition, during the last 8 years, the Housing Authority has made some significant changes on how the vendors that they're using for HQS inspections, rent reasonableness, as well as the Mass Narrow changed their computer system and vendor for the centralized waiting list. So there's a lot more in this plan for internal procedural changes, probably more so than most policy items. Also, in light of the COVID pandemic, there wasn't formally really anything in the admin plan about how to handle, when the office has to close due to either a natural disaster or, a pandemic, something that's regulated by the state government. And so HUD came out with some additional language throughout the last year in giving some housing authorities some temporary flexibilities on things like remote hearings. So being able to have a hearing with a participant or a hearing with an applicant, being able to utilize remote video inspections, and then, how just staffing in general. And now that we're, that December 31st is when those flexibilities formally ended, where at this point, if the housing authority wants to continue to use those operational flexibilities, they needed to put them in the administrative plan. So that was really a lot of the content of what changed. There's things in there outlining there's additional details on existing policies. We spent a lot of time clarifying items that were already there and just getting into further detail. And, things such as, clarification of what is acceptable for documentation that's sent electronically. Things like the housing authority doesn't accept screenshots of documents for be considered as verification. They have to actually provide the document, or they have to provide, certified PDF or et cetera. So that was really the crux of the changes that were made.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I have a question or two. You made reference to the fact that some of the things were policy changes into this actual admin plan. So that those are nothing that we have to separately vote on to approve or accept as changes to a policy. It would all be wrapped into the approval of this plan.
Yes.
Okay, and have you submitted something, a very similar document potentially from any other authority, and had any comments come back from HUD? Anything that they might highlight or have an issue with?
No. Well, okay, so the answer to your first question is yes, I've worked with very similar documents. This admin plan starts as a template document from a company, Nan McKay, who is an industry leader in, classroom type training for all kinds of federal programs. They also have an administrative plan template document that you can use, and that it really has a lot of the content that doesn't change for everyone, from housing authority to housing authority. It indicates all the references to the sections of the Code of Federal Regulations that would provide background to each of the areas where there's a policy decision. And then they provide, in many areas, they provide language options that you can use depending on which area of the housing authority wants to lean on a particular policy decision. And then, so there's prompts throughout. It does have areas where the housing authority does have to get it to provide their own language. It isn't foolproof in that we had to make some changes to just be in compliance with state law. For example, and this is a very small example, how states recognize marriage. That actually varies from state to state. So one of the areas that needed some clarification in the plan was just making sure that we recognize domestic partnerships. That had not been done previously. We also needed to add something in the plan indicating that Massachusetts general laws are in effect for your jurisdiction. So if there's something in the Massachusetts general law that overrides the federal statute, we needed to make mention that that exists. So there's a lot of that, but this is this type of document is something that HUD sees quite frequently, and it's a document that is quite frequently throughout the industry, or at least it is in my practice.
And the date of the template from Nan McKay?
Just give me one moment, I'll look that up for you. Let's see, March of 2021, and they released it in May.
And is there, do we have this available in languages? Or is it easily transferable, translated?
That's a great question. I don't know the answer to that.
I just know it's getting to be a very, it's, everybody's doing that, including the state after many, many years. They've finally jumped into the mix.
Oh my gosh, I've lost you.
We can still see you. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm back. Okay. See, I have the file open. Huh. The answer to that question, obviously Jamie would be more knowledgeable, but I seem to remember seeing something in the first 160 pages about that. But
I mean, as far as, is it able to be translated? I'm sure it can. Where I would, that's something that Kathy and I would probably need to look into as far as getting it translated. Commissioner, what you're probably referencing is the limited English proficiency section of the plan. It talks about translating documents for program participants and applicants, and also participating owners on the program, or landlords, so to speak. So if they need things like recertification packages, or like a housing assistance payments contract, those types of documents translated. HUD provides translations of many of those documents already. And anything that is specifically created by the housing authority based on internal operations, those can also be easily translated. As far as translating the administrative plan document, I mean, I think that Kathy and I would need to look into that. Where I'd probably start with, the first place I would ask is if Nan McKay offers any of that translation already. There's a good part of this plan that is really just references to regulation. So that there's a lot in there that we would not have changed for that reason. So that's probably where I would start. And then the areas where we would make changes, we would probably need to look into getting that translated separately. But that's just my off the top of my head answer to your question. We probably need to look into that further.
Thank you.
Mhm.
are there any other questions from the board relative to this 16-page document that we received in our packet, which summarizes the proposed updates to this 496-page document? No questions? And I have no way of knowing if we have anyone from the public.
Can I just comment on this? I brought up the public meeting law and what means of access will be considered adequate alternative means. Adequate alternative means may include, without limitation, providing public access through telephone, internet, or satellite-enabled audio, or video conferencing, or any other technology. It's or. So the fact that we are up by telephone should meet the emergency order by the governor.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Tebow.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's see. We
So you need a motion to approve this plan?
I'm not, Normally I would ask, I would say at this point, I would entertain a motion to accept the plan. But yes, I will accept a motion to accept the, I will entertain a motion to accept the proposed revisions to the fiscal year ending 2023 Federal Section 8 Admin Plan.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Okay, and I will, we have a motion by Commissioner Chrissy Sheedy and a second by Commissioner Tebow to approve the proposed updates to the fiscal year 2023 Federal Section 8 Admin Plan. I'm going to do a roll call vote now. Let's see, Commissioner Tebow,
Yes.
Commissioner Chrissy Sheedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Dennis Sheedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Don Burrows,
Yes.
that leaves me. So it's Dennis Sheedy, Don Burrows. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not comfortable. Maybe it's just because I'm a little stressed out because the meeting has been very awkward. So I'm going to say I'm not comfortable with it at this time. But so the vote is 4 in favor and 1 no. Okay, so the vote passes, it carries. And that brings us to the closure of the public hearing. And let's see, and then I want to open the regular Board of Directors meeting for regular business. And at that point, since we didn't do it in the beginning, I want to do make sure, just do a roll call for the presence of the people at the meeting. I know it's a little redundant, but so for the regular monthly meeting of the Board of Directors of the Easton Housing Authority, roll call for the presence, for attendance, Commissioner Tebow,
Here.
Commissioner Chrissy Sheedy,
Present.
Don Burrows,
Yeah.
Dennis Sheedy,
Yeah.
and Commissioner Widdop is here. Let the records show that Executive Director Steiger is also present. I'm not sure if Jamie, you will be staying through our regular meeting. Will you be? No, okay. Thank you. Oh,
Nice to see you.
thank you very much.
Danny.
Thank you.
And thank you, Joe, as well. I failed to mention that Easton Community Access Television is recording this as well as broadcasting it live. They were also broadcasting the public hearing live. Thank you very much, Joe from ECAT.
Do we have to formally close the public hearing?
I don't remember if we did it last month. I'm sorry.
I can't recall if we need to.
I believe it's closed when you take the vote.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so we've addressed agenda item number 1. The next item on the agenda is the December 2021 warrant in the amount of $215,800.79. And that is a corrected amount from what showed on the signature sheet, the cover sheet of that warrant that came in your packet. There was a typographical error.
I'll make a motion to approve the December 2021 warrant in the amount of $215,800.79.
Second that motion.
And we have a motion by Commissioner Dennis Sheedy and a second by Commissioner Don Burrows to approve the December 2021 warrant in the amount of $215,800.79. Are there any questions about this report?
I have one question. Kathy, on page 4 of 10 for the invoices, Citgo is, the bill is $137.71. And then 2 weeks later, there's a same bill for Citgo, and it's $137.71. It just seems odd. It would be exactly the same.
Yeah, that was a double payment and they've credited us for the month of January. So we won't have a bill January right now. That was an error.
Okay.
Are there any other questions regarding this warrant? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion. No, hearing none, I will do a roll call to accept this. Commissioner Chris Ann Sheedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Dennis Sheedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Tebow,
Yes.
Commissioner Burrows,
Yes,
and Commissioner Widdop is yes, so it is unanimous. 5 votes in favor of approving the December 2021 warrant. The next item on the agenda is the fee accountant's compilation report as of November 30th, 2021.
I'll make a motion to approve the accountant's compilation report for, when was it, November?
November 30th.
November 30th, 2021, and put on file.
I'll
I will
second it. Oh, sorry about that, Chris.
So it's quite all right, Tom.
Okay, thank you. I have a motion by Commissioner Dennis Sheedy and a second by Commissioner Tebow to accept the fee accountant's compilation report as of November 30th, 2021, and place it on file. Are there any questions about this report?
Just looking at the operating reserve, looked like it was a bit higher.
Yes, it is a little bit higher and that's including the money we already had to spend on the septic at Chandler Way. So the reserves are high at the moment. And obviously the salary line item is a little over, but that is because of the hazard pay that was awarded to admin staff. And we're underrunning labor in the maintenance line item because there hasn't been much overtime, even though maintenance was also awarded hazard pay. We're underrunning that currently as well.
So it's kind of bittersweet, but it's all good.
Yes.
Well, for some people, it's bittersweet.
Yeah, that's true.
Are there any other questions or comments on the fee accountant's compilation report? Hearing none, I'll do a roll call, yes or no vote to approve and place it on file. Commissioner Burrows,
yes,
Commissioner Tebow,
Yes.
Chris Ann Sheedy,
Yes.
Dennis Sheedy,
Yes.
and Chair Widdop votes yes, so it is unanimous. Agenda item number 4 is the approval of the minutes for the December 14th, 2021 meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the December 14th, 2021 minutes as written.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you. We have a motion by Commissioner Dennis Sheedy and a second by Commissioner Burrows to approve the minutes for the December 14th, 2021 meeting. Do we have any comments or discussion on that?
I'm all set, thanks.
Hearing none, we'll move forward to vote to approve the minutes of the December 14th, 2021 meeting. I'll do a roll call. Commissioner Tebow,
Yes.
Commissioner Burrows,
Yes.
Commissioner Chris Ann Sheedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Dennis Sheedy,
Yes.
and Chair Whitt votes yes, so it is unanimous. And agenda item number 5 is the Executive Director's Report for January 2021. And I'd like to turn the floor over to Executive Director Steiger.
Thank you. I've attached to this report just for the board's review, a list of all the vacants that we've had over the past 12 months. It's been extremely extensive, and of course, Champ has hindered us housing a lot of these units, but I thought it was a good point of reference for the board to have to see how many vacancies we've had over the past 12 months. So that was included. We also held a booster clinic for the residents on very short notice. The fire department indicated on a Thursday that they wanted to do one Christmas week on that Tuesday, and we managed to get in touch with most of the residents, let them know that, and wound up having 30 residents coming to the booster clinic, and that was phenomenal from Thursday to a Tuesday, and I know the residents were very happy about that. We've had various complaints about residents coming into community rooms and whatnot without masks on. We do what we can. It gets very difficult, as I'm sure you all are aware. We did add some more signage, and I put out a lot more of the masks that we've received in the past, and we keep putting masks out for people and trying to remind them to wear them when they're around others for the time being anyhow. I also was told yesterday that the bingo has now been postponed indefinitely. So I don't know if that's good or bad. Sometimes I think the isolation part is a problem. If they get together, it'd be good if they'd wear masks, but a lot of them won't. The majority of them, I believe, are vaccinated and feel safe. Maybe that's what they're doing, but I want you to rest assured we're doing what we can. We're trying to do the best of our ability to keep everybody safe, but yet still be able to let them socialize and, get out of their apartments, although there wasn't anybody out today. It was so cold. And we're finally going out to bid on the Elise Circle Community Room. It's been a long time, but we're finally doing it. And hopefully that job will go around very quickly and it will look great when it's done with any luck.
So will Claire Cronin be back from Ireland to see the finished renovations?
I know, good question, right? I don't really know. We will be sure to have to do something, and I'm sure we'll get in touch with her somehow. And
I'll volunteer to go get her.
I'll go with you. So that
And
was-
you'll have to check off on the budget line that there's some relationship between the director.
Oh boy.
On another note, I'm just curious, do you guys do your rent research monthly or do you do them like kind of all at once?
No, we do them monthly on their anniversary dates.
Okay, so you're kind of just getting into the lovely 5.9% Social Security raise.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. Our rents have held pretty steady the whole time, even with the amount of vacants we've had. It's been pretty good. We've just recently, in the past couple of months, started running into a few people not paying rent. So that's proving to be a bit challenging now. But we'll work through it.
Share is available to them till June 2022.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Dennis, what is available?
Share to help them with their rent if they're falling behind for COVID reasons.
A few of them won't even take our phone calls. They won't do anything. So we try to call them. Usually Dawn will call them and just remind them and whatnot. But the couple that we have right now, they're totally avoiding us for whatever reason. I don't know. So we can only do what we can do. And we do have the ASAP in the other room, and maybe they could even knock on their doors and see if they could be of any assistance.
Absolutely, 100%. That's what they're there for.
Right. Well, we're in transition right now. So we had one ASAP who just left and went to Plymouth, and there's been a couple of weeks lapse before we had another ASAP come in. So he just started Monday.
Excellent.
Could I ask Commissioner Chrisanne Sheedy about the 5.9 Social Security, what that is that you mentioned?
So almost everybody who receives Social Security is getting a 5.9% increase as of January 1. So that obviously is going to be calculated in their rent redeterminations.
Mhm.
And I just, didn't know if we were seeing any of that additional rental income in our rent roll yet, but we'll just start seeing it now.
Yeah, but the
So-
Medicare also went up, didn't it?
What's that?
Medicare also went up. So
Oh,
one
they
back,
always do. And then, everybody's just upset that you're taking their money, but
Mhm.
So it's early days, I suppose, for us to see in the reports that Kathy provides for us.
yeah, you won't see it until, start to see it February and March more so.
Kathy, if I could ask on that community room, if and when that, well, I'm assuming is gonna take place, is there any plans in effect as far as the residents using that while renovations are going on, particularly the laundry room area? Is that gonna be closed off, or
Not the
has
whole time.
anybody made a plan for that?
Yeah, we will work through that as the job proceeds. I'm sure there'll be a period of time where it might have to be closed off, but they do their best to keep it open, and we would let you know well in advance if we knew that it was going to be closed off, so a resident could plan accordingly and do their laundry in advance. Or also, we'd have the Parker Terrace laundry facility that would be available to them.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So when's it going out to bid?
15.
What's the estimated cost?
Right now, it's at 50. Oh, wait a minute. I've got 4 jobs at the same time.
Always the way.
I believe it's $55,999. Don't quote me on that. Can I get back to you for a certain dollar amount?
Yeah, no, I just wanted a kind of a ballpark.
Yeah, that's just the construction portion of it. I believe it's 55. It's either 55 or 51.
Who was the architect?
On this one, it's Blackstone Block. Barry Black. Yes,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
And
Yeah, I can't keep your job straight along with my job, so, it's like, you have to remind me every once in a while what's going on.
I have them all listed on my bulletin board in front of me because with the numbers, the architect, the contractor, I can't keep them straight.
I do that on Cap Hub.
Yeah, but when I don't have Cap Hub open, it's right there in front of me. So
I know. And DHCD yells at you if you don't put the fish number on the project when you send them an email. So
yep,
nice to have those in front of you.
yes.
Tom, did you have, I didn't hear your comment, I'm sorry. What about the architect?
Oh, no, I just, I know the architect. Just, no comment, just confirming that it was Barry.
Thank you. Okay, are there any other questions or comments relative to the executive director's report for January?
Kathy,
Okay,
you gave us the list stating, showing the amount of vacants you had last year. It looks like you're off to another fine start this year. You have 4 already.
Yes, I know. It's been brutal. We have a lot of administrative transfers going on too, which, as you know, just creates a new vacancy every time you turn around. Not administrative, I'm sorry, reasonable accommodation.
Yep.
Yep, musical apartments.
Mhm.
And just because when we were looking at the admin plan and we were talking about language, have you had a chance at all to work with that whole language access plan?
Nope, it is sitting right on my desk, staring at me, going, okay, I wanted to get through these between the state admin plan and our annual plan and this admin plan. I wanted to get these out of the way, and then I will be tackling that next.
Yeah, I was just wondering what the census shows as our, if we have any other languages that we need to be aware of.
I checked that. I haven't checked it recently, but I checked it probably about a year and a half, maybe it was 2 years ago, and it was very minimal.
I just did it
All
for,
those links are in the language access plan, PHN.
Yes.
I
And you
just
have
did
it
that.
for
for
chant
admin.
as well as for,
Mhm.
You will have to do Spanish regardless.
Yes.
So it'll be Spanish and English.
Mhm.
Okay, I'll try again. Any further questions on the executive director's report for January?
I have none.
Thank
I'm
you.
good, thank you.
all set.
All set.
Thank you. Thank you, folks. Sorry, if that feedback might be mine, I'm not sure. So the next would be questions or comments or concerns from the residents who are attending the meeting. I'm gonna put that request out and see if I get any response.
We don't have any callers either, Pam. It would come up on my screen that we had a caller. There are no callers.
Thank you. Okay, it did, on the December meeting, it came up on my screen, but with
Yeah.
our troubles today, I wasn't sure.
Mhm.
Thank you. Okay, so we will, that brings us to the agenda item number 7, which is the,
Can I make one comment, Commissioner Widdop?
please.
So I just, under the comments, I'd like to thank Commissioner Dennis Sheedy for bringing up the issue of open meeting. One of the most important things that a board does is deliberate in public. Nobody went into a back room and asked a question about this, so the public can see how we came to a decision. So I think that was a very, very long but healthy discussion about what we should be doing. And so I appreciate that. And I think it's important to keep the integrity of open meeting law the way it should be. Thank you.
Thank you. I agree. Thank you, Dennis.
And could I have one word too?
Please.
Please. Being January 2022, my term is up this year. I have been notified that papers are eligible at Town Hall. At this point, I do not believe I will be seeking reelection. Just putting that out there, so.
I understand that, Dennis, but you're certainly an important part of this board. So
Absolutely. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yes.
you have to replace yourself with someone equal or better. That's the rule.
Gonna be,
Well, I'm sorry to hear that Santa Claus left town, so it was.
I know, right? Maybe I can get him to move in with you guys.
I don't know. There's a place up on Peconicoid, I hear.
Dennis, how many years have you served? Since I've been,
I want to say I started somewhere around 2007. I fulfilled an expiring term. I ran for election. I lost. That person left within a few months, so I fulfilled that expiring term, and then I ran and been here ever since. So about 2007, give or take a year. So, but it's subject to change. I'm just saying at this point in time, I'm not intending to take out papers.
All right, we have a chance to convince him to stay, guys, is what he just said.
What do I have to do? Chris, I'll call ya.
If I could say, I understand, Dennis, and if we do lose you, I will miss your presence and input very much. And,
Well-
but I know that you also give your volunteer time to other town boards, and so I understand.
Yeah, well, if I'm not on this seat, then I lose that one too, so.
Oh,
And I hate to tell you how fond he is of that other seat.
I do like that one. It's very interesting.
So that might be the saving grace.
There you
there's
go.
there's
All
the
right.
carrot, right?
We're not interesting for you?
Yes, you are. Of course you are. But we still got a way to go. So the elections aren't until April or May, so.
Okay, and the papers aren't due until what, the end of February? Usually that's about the time.
Yeah, beginning of March, somewhere around there.
And so, with no objections, that brings us to scheduling the February meeting to February 8th. I asked if that would be okay with everyone?
Okay with me?
It's good.
February.
Fine, yes, it's fine.
On that note, I will make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, we have a motion. I'm sorry, I was waiting for a second.
Second,
We have a motion by Commissioner Chris Ann Sheedy and a second by Commissioner Dennis Sheedy to adjourn the meeting at 6:09 PM. Do a roll call, yea or nay. Commissioner Tebow,
Yes.
Commissioner Burrows,
Yes.
Commissioner Chris Ann Sheedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Dennis Sheedy,
yes.
and Widdop votes yes, so it is unanimous to adjourn the meeting of the Easton Housing Authority, January 11th, 2022 at 6:09 PM.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Have a nice,
Stay
Thanks,
Stay warm.
everyone.
stay warm.
Well.
Bye-bye.
See you, bye.
Bye.